Hello, Great Budapest. Crowd. Good to see you again.
How are you doing?
So it is an honor to be back on the stage here once again with not just a friend, not just a supporter, proud supporter of President Donald J. Trump, but a proud Floridian. You have two Floridians sitting on your stage right now. Thank you so much. So Alex, you were just here in Budapest a little while ago, and you had a front row seat to all the amazing things that they're doing here, that Miklos Santo and so many others are doing. You know, America first, Hungary first. What are the similarities that you're seeing, in your opinion?
Right, well, as you just mentioned, I was here just at the end of March, just a few weeks ago, and I met some great guys right there, and Miklos, who's doing a fantastic job, by the way. Can we hear it from Miklos?
Yes.
Incredible talent. But I was here for the first time just at the end of March, like I just said, and the country, it's so beautiful, it's so clean, the history's incredible, and there are tremendous similarities, not just between our people and our countries, but our two leaders, right? You know, both leaders understand the importance of defending the homeland, protecting the family, and honoring God. And, you know, unfortunately, the left doesn't believe in those values, and you see countries all throughout Europe and all throughout the world that are ruled by leftist leaders, and their countries aren't nearly as prosperous or as successful and safe as here in Hungary. So there's a lot of similarities between both leaders and both countries, and I think Europe would be better off if they took more lessons from Budapest rather than Brussels.
You know, our president, President Trump, and back home, and Viktor Orban here, they have such a fantastic friendship and such a good relationship, and it's been so amazing to watch this relationship budding on the world stage, right? Speaking about world stage, President Trump just got back from a historic visit to the Middle East. President Trump showed us during the first term that he is the ultimate deal maker. He is the ultimate peacemaker. And what we just saw in the Middle East is nothing short of remarkable, ladies and gentlemen. He is completely reshaping the Middle East in ways that I think a lot of people thought wasn't possible. You and I probably thought it was possible, but a lot of people maybe didn't think it was possible. But what do you think about what's happening? What's the message that President Trump is sending to our partners and to our foes on the world stage?
Well, I think very clearly the president is sending a message that the neoconservatism that once dominated the Republican Party and our foreign policy, it's dead and gone. And that's a great thing, not just for our country, but for the world. We had some of the most dangerous and corrupt people running our military and running our State Department for decades before the president. And we have to reverse decades of wrongdoing and bad policies, and the president is just totally bucking the status quo, which is a great thing, and resetting the relationships on the global stage. The president was just in Qatar and in UAE and in Saudi, as you mentioned. That trip would have been unheard of for any other Republican president before him. But these are great economic trading partners. They have blossoming economies. Are they perfect countries? Absolutely not. But we're not striving for perfection. We're looking for good deals for the American people. And so, you know, I also loved when the media, for example, they would say, we need to get rid of Trump and we need to put the experts back in charge. For some reason, they thought Joe Biden was an expert, which, not an expert on much, but they thought he was an expert. And look what the experts did. The experts, or so-called experts, they led to the Ukraine-Russia conflict, which is an absolute travesty. Thousands of troops on both sides dying every day. Then that led to the disastrous withdrawal in Afghanistan, which left 13 of our brave soldiers killed and many more wounded. And then after that, it was the terrible conflict on October 7th, and what's happened since then. The world needs a strong leader in America, and Donald Trump is that strong leader, but now we have to reverse all of the disastrous policies and events over the last 4 years, and it's going to take some time, but we have the deal maker in chief and somebody who understands how to leverage the American might to get these deals done.
I think you're exactly correct, and I think what's really so important right now about Trump 47 is not just that we have President Trump back in the White House, but that we have a fantastic Vice President, J.D. Vance, his entire cabinet. I mean, everyone is rowing in the right direction right now. Yeah. And you know, Alex, you just mentioned something about the lies that we heard about President Trump. You know, another lie that I know you and I heard all the time, and many in this room heard, is that President Trump was never respected on the world stage. Did anyone just see the visit to the Middle East? I mean, did you see the red carpets
they rolled out? Red
him?
Carpets. Wow. They were throwing flowers on his beautiful hair. You know, they showed tremendous respect on the world stage. They didn't show respect to Joe Biden, but unfortunately, what is there to respect? You look at the guy, he's got a son who's a crackhead. Don't do drugs, kids who are in the crowd. But you know, he had a terrible family life. He was the worst president in the history of our country. The president always says that Jimmy Carter was able to die a happy man because he was no longer the worst president in American history. Joe Biden took that mantle. But you know, unfortunately, we were a joke around the world for many years, but we are now respected once again.
You are exactly correct. Our allies respect us, and our enemies fear us.
It's a good way to be.
That is a good way to politic,
right?
So to speak. Alex, you have been so instrumental with President Trump, with the America First movement, with the conservative movement as a whole, bringing young people back into our party, getting them switched into our party. I mean, you've done so many amazing things. What do you see as the future of maybe not just the America First movement, but the conservative movement as a whole?
Right. Well, thank you for the kind words, and it's been the honor of my lifetime to fight alongside President Trump and play whatever role I've had the opportunities to play in this movement. And you know, I don't think we'll ever be able to replicate the MAGA movement anywhere. But there's some close copycats, and the movement that Orban has built here, the respect that he has for his people and the respect that his people have for him reminds me of what President Trump has built. But something I admire most about the president is that he has leveraged his platform and leveraged his influence to build up the next generation of conservative voices. I look at myself, for example, I would have about 0 social media followers if it weren't for President Trump. And fortunately, now I have a very large platform. I can get a message out pretty clearly and effectively. And it's not just me. It's dozens and dozens of people like me. Look at the congressmen that President Trump has helped usher into office. Look at the senators. Look at the governors. Look at people like Byron Donalds in our home state of Florida, who's going to be an incredible governor.
Hopefully our next governor.
He will be, don't worry.
Good.
The wife's not going to win.
Good.
But, you know, Byron's going to be a fantastic governor. Look at Vivek Ramaswamy running for governor in Ohio. We have an incredible bench of talent thanks to President Trump using his platform, using his resources to build up these voices. And my message and my hope for world leaders, conservative world leaders, is to do the same. Orban has got a tremendous presence and a tremendous influence here. And there's so much young talent that I have met in my short time in Hungary. And it's my hope that, which I think he's doing with an event like this, right, where they're identifying young Hungarian leaders that will carry his movement long into the future. I hope Nigel Farage has the same success, and conservative leaders all throughout Europe, they need to leverage their influence, leverage their platforms, and grow the voices of the next generation, because these movements need to live long into the future. I'm 28 years old, I'm a young guy, and I don't want to have to, you know, deal with socialists over here. So please, please do your job.
Well, I think if there's one thing, Alex, that we can count on with our friends here in Hungary, is that they are going to do their job. And thanks to our friends Miklos here and everyone at the Center for Fundamental Rights, they've been doing such a fantastic job. And I just want to reiterate really quickly, we have just 20 seconds left. I opened with, you have 2 Floridians sitting on stage. I don't know if you heard it, but we both just predicted that our dear friend Byron Donalds is going to be the next governor of Florida. So we're making some moves for our friend Byron across the Atlantic.
That's exactly right.
Alex, this has been truly fantastic conversation. I know you're going to probably come back to Budapest many more times.
If they'll have me. Can I come back? Thank you.
Sounds like a yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Budapest.
Thanks, guys.
Alex, great job, man.
Appreciate it. Thank you.